Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to welcome all my beginners. Now, I'm going to refer to you as beginners because what we're talking about today is what is a silhouette. So if you're asking yourself that question, you have come to the right place. This is the video for you. Hey guys, so here we are, and today we are going to talk about what is a silhouette. Now, we are also going to talk about who makes silhouette, what models are available, what you can make with your silhouette machine, why you need a silhouette machine, all those sorts of things, right? And I will say that it is very, very contagious. If you have heard the term silhouette before, then chances are you have either friends, family, or maybe you just saw it on social media or your favorite blogger, but they are definitely becoming more and more popular because they are so super awesome. I personally started with a silhouette machine and I absolutely love them, and I just don't think that anybody can ever really regret buying one, okay? So a silhouette is owned by the company Silhouette America, and they created the Cameo series and the Portrait series. Now they have a few other machines in their arsenal. We're not going to go over those today, but just know if you want to check those out, you can head on to their website. But these are your standard die cutting machines. They're electronic, they work with your computer, and basically you can feed whatever material you need within reason. You can feed that material into the machine, program your design into the software, and these machines will cut it for you. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what type of material are we looking at. Most commonly, we are talking about adhesive vinyl. That is going to be your cup decals, all right? If you want to make a decal for a car, if you want to, this is a Santa cam that I made using adhesive vinyl. You can make stencils, which is really awesome for glass etching and sign painting. This is just another example. This is just a clear acrylic clipboard. This is a curved acrylic panel that makes it freestanding. Really love those. Okay, so that's an overview. Any hard, non-porous surface is what you're looking at for adhesive vinyl. Okay, now heat transfer vinyl, you're looking at apparel. This is a tote bag layered with multiple colors. Of course, shirts, hoodies. This is an embroidery hoop frame decorated with heat transfer vinyl. Anything that can withstand the heat, you can apply heat transfer vinyl to. We're talking about you can apply it to wood, you can apply it to any type of fabric, you can apply it to glass, okay? Now there's a multitude of reasons, and you will kind of dive down that rabbit hole on your own and why you would pick whichever material. But typically speaking, those are gonna be your two most common. Now, I would say that that's followed up by both fabric and cardstock. I know a lot of you guys, when I start talking about die cutting, you're familiar with your standard die cutting machines, right? And don't worry, because the Silhouette can do all that and then some, right? Because it's electronic. So no more dies, no more turning by hand, no more plates and lining up your design. And this really makes it a whole lot easier. So paper crafting. Now, if you're a scrapbooker, I don't really have a whole lot of examples for you today. I do a lot of electronic scrapbooking, but we're talking about foil options. All right, this is a foil quill project that I made. We're also talking about, this is a waterfall card. If you haven't seen one of these, really cool. Let's see, here we go. Ready? Where you can flip through your photos. So one of my all-time favorite projects, if I do say so myself. But really, you can make anything big or small. I've showed you all of these smaller projects today, but can we just talk about, here I'm gonna do my presentation, the welcome sign that was made using a stencil with the Silhouette. This Christmas round here, that was also made with my Silhouette. So there's just really so many things that you can do. Now, let's talk about why you need one. I always say, everybody says, well, Becky, I'm not crafty. You don't have to be, guys, because this machine does it for you, okay? Now, I know that some people feel the pressure that they got to crank out all these awesome projects. Everybody starts as a beginner, and that's what you have to realize. And where you're starting may not be where somebody else is starting. So do not let these machines intimidate you. All right. Now we have a lot of really great videos for you. We have videos to teach you how to use the software. We have unboxing videos on the machines. We have project videos. We show you how to organize your files. If you are a beginner, I'm telling you, you are in the right place because we have a lot of really, really great videos and tutorials to help you not only get started, but even if you're not ready, you can still watch those videos and decide if this is something that you want to get into or not, okay? And of course, you know, Design Bundles always has really great files for you. So that takes a lot of the pressure off too, because you can get, especially in the free section, they have a lot of freebies. They've got the Plus membership. What that means is that you can go there and find the files that you need. And I promise you that that is half the battle, okay? Now, let's go ahead and touch on some more projects. The Cameo 4 has some additional features that you may or may not be aware of because, like I said, we're here to talk to you about Silhouette. But it has new blades that are available, and they are the rotary blade, which makes it 10 times easier to cut fabric. So any of you ladies who are into embroidery and applique, or maybe you are just a quilter, whatever your fabric needs, this machine can cut it out for you very easily with that rotary blade. There's also a knife blade that's going to help you with some wood, okay, like balsa wood. You can actually cut that using your Cameo. And we're not going to be cutting, you know, 1/2 inch pine boards or anything, but you know, you can also get etching tips that help you etch into, this is acrylic, this is clear acrylic. All right. And you can also, like we talked about the foil quill, there are quilling options. I mean, I really could just go on and on and on. Now, let me get back on track with about why you need this. I feel so passionate about everybody at least giving it a consideration. All right. Because I have made so many gifts. I have made so much home decor. I mean, I can honestly say that this machine, it pays for itself every time. Every time I have to buy a new silhouette, it absolutely pays for itself. Just from the things that I'm able to make myself and the satisfaction that I get out of making them. And I'll be honest, it's also kind of fun for people to find out that you can make awesome stuff like that. And, you know, everybody kind of knocks crafting a little bit. You know, they say, hey, you know, you can buy it for $15 or you can make it for $92, right? Now, some of that is true. Crafting can get a little on the expensive side. But once you build up that arsenal, it's literally like, oh, I'm gonna come over here and get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna make these embroidered hoop wreaths. I can do canvases. I can do cups and card decals. And next thing you know, you will just be able to do it all, because the great thing about the Silhouette is that once you learn how to cut one thing, for the most part, you can cut just about everything because the processes are the same. Once you learn how to work in the software and you learn the settings on your machine, then I promise you it is a lot easier than it seems. I'm not saying that there's not a little bit of learning curve there, but like I said, we got those videos for you, so we got you covered. Okay, now where can you get a Cameo 4 or a Portrait 3? Of course, there are a ton of online vendors. You can definitely buy one online, and it's way more common to find them online, especially in today's market. We're coming up on Christmas, that sort of thing, all right? And a lot of local crafting stores do not carry very many of these. So if they do carry them, sometimes they might be out of stock. And Silhouette is just not a very common machine to be able to find the tools and things like that. But, you know, check those online marketplaces. You know, we're talking about Amazon. Everybody loves Amazon, right? Well, there are a ton of different options for you as far as the different cutting machines and the materials and things like that that you need. There are also smaller business crafting vendors, right? That you can, a lot of times, if you have someplace local to you, if you have a local sewing shop or embroidery shop, a lot of times you will find silhouettes sold there because they are willing to teach you how to use them to cut your fabric and to make other projects. So that is a really neat feature. And a lot of times, if you buy one locally to you, then you have a really good resource to go in and get materials and to take classes if you're struggling to learn how to use it and that sort of thing. So hopefully I have answered your questions for you today about what a silhouette is. Just to give you a recap, it is an electronic die cutting machine that is packed full of awesomeness. And the wide variety of things that you can make is, when I say it's virtually endless, I mean, guys, like really, it is. You can use this machine for just about anything. So, all right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So guys, are we feeling more comfortable with understanding what a silhouette machine is? I know, I just threw out a lot of information and sometimes it can be intimidating, but I promise once you get over the learning curve, these are really, really great machines to own, regardless of which way you go. And like I said, we have a lot of really great videos for you. We have some really awesome comparison videos if you're on the fence about which machine you would like to purchase, and also some project videos and some software videos so that you can see if this is even something that you want to jump into. But guys, I really appreciate you stopping by today. Like I said, hopefully we answered your questions. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below. I always come back in and check with you guys. Make sure you browse that video library. And if you don't mind, go ahead and give us that like, subscribe, and share. If you learned something from the video, or you want to be alerted for more videos, make sure you also turn on those notifications, because that's what's going to give you that alert every time we post new awesomeness for you, okay? All right, guys, thanks again. I do really, really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.